Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to watch this video. I want to start by acknowledging the deep pain that comes from growing up in a toxic family or still being entangled in one where the people who are supposed to love and protect you instead side with your abuser. It's a profoundly shattering experience that cuts to the core and leaves lasting emotional scars. I know this pain personally. It was my reality with my own mother and brother. It's heartbreaking, and the truth is, it happens far too often. So, before we go any further, I want you to hear this clearly. I believe you. Your feelings are valid and your story deserves to be honored without question. No matter what anyone else has said or how you've been made to feel, your truth matters, and so do you. If this topic resonates with your experience, I hope this video provides some insight, validation, and tools to help you on your healing journey. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's an honor to have you join us. I'm Kerri McKenna Reece. I'm a trauma recovery coach, supervisor, and accredited instructor specializing in complex trauma. I've dedicated my life to helping others navigate the pain and complexity of relationships shaped by trauma because I've been there myself. Let's begin by exploring the profound pain of family betrayal. The heartbreak of having your family side with the perpetrator, that cuts deeper than any words could ever convey. It's a devastation that utterly defies expression. There simply are no words. These moments of betrayal, whether it's being told to apologize to an abuser, having your reality dismissed, or being labeled as too sensitive, these moments are not isolated incidents. They reflect a devastating pattern in a toxic family, one that invalidates your experiences and leaves you feeling extremely alone, scared, unloved, and worthless. Maybe your parents defended an abusive ex-spouse instead of supporting and standing by you. Perhaps you were accused of lying about a sexual assault or rape to protect the reputation of the perpetrator. Maybe your family minimized or ignored ongoing abuse to avoid drama. Uh, Maybe they lacked the courage to confront it or feared what others might think. Or perhaps your parents sided with a toxic partner, step parent, or even a stranger, leaving you emotionally abandoned, unheard, and feeling profoundly unsafe. These behaviors don't just hurt, they leave lasting wounds. When they happen over and over, they reshape your reality, isolating you in a world that feels physically wrong. That's deeply, deeply damaging. Your pain then becomes as deep as your secrets, the secrets that you've been forced to carry. And it's in those secrets that the most profound damage begins. Now, family betrayal, it hits us on every level, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. And the ways that we react are deeply damaging to us. We are born with this innate confidence and love for ourselves and the world, but when we feel utterly rejected by those who are supposed to love and protect us, we self-abandon. We disregard our own needs, our desires, and our authenticity. We become chameleons, shaping ourselves to fit the expectation of others, doing things that go against our very soul in search of love, respect, and a sense of acceptance. All the love we had for ourselves in the world is replaced by a paralyzing fear that echoes, how will I survive if I can't be me? We disassociate, suppressing our emotions. We question our own reality, truth, and sense of self. We blame, shame ourselves for the rejection, convincing ourselves we don't deserve better. This internalization, it stems and grows from the deep sense of powerlessness we experience and feel as children. When trust is shattered through love that's given, so is the trust we have in ourselves. It derails our intuition. We unconsciously blame ourselves for all the hurt because that's a lot less painful than accepting that our parents or our caregivers are unable to properly love us. Accepting that then would leave us to navigate the world alone and scared. Whereas unconsciously, if we blame ourselves, at least we have hope that one day they'll love and accept us. As children, that's survival. That's exactly what it looks like. Until healing begins, fear is the driver in our life, and it's relentless steering because it affects every aspect of our life. It's a fear of not being loved, accepted, and respected. It traps us and keeps us in a constant state of hypervigilance, right? Survival mode, terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. We shrink ourselves, make ourselves small, silence our voice, dismiss our needs, and settle for crumbs of love and respect from others. How many of you watching this avoid conflict at all cost? If that's you, it's a sign that you've self-abandoned. And tragically, those betrayals, they don't just disappear as we age. They follow us into adulthood, resurfacing as powerful triggers in our relationships. Struggles with fairness, loyalty, and validation often echo those early wounds. Even minor dismissals at work or in friendships can send us spiraling as they reignite the pain of being discounted, invalidated, and left longing for the support we never received as children. Healing means reconnecting with ourselves authentically, but the weight of these betrayals makes that journey challenging, though it's not impossible. Let's take a look, or let's take a moment to really explore why parents side with abusers. The truth is, it's not about you, it's about them. It reflects how they feel about themselves. It's their own self-abandonment, their lack of self-love, confidence, and trust in their own worth. Toxic parents, they have their own unresolved trauma, and that drives their behavior. They are, more times than not, repeating patterns from their own upbringing. It could be manipulation, narcissism, shame, or codependency. It could be addictions to substances or behaviors that cloud their judgment and perpetrate harmful dynamics. There are a lot of process addictions out there. It's not always drugs and alcohol. It could be overworking, spending too much time at the gym, porn, binge watching TV or reading, gambling. There is a whole host of process addictions out there. And understanding these dynamics is incredibly helpful. It doesn't excuse their actions, but it does help to shift the blame away from you. Their choice to side with your abuser is rooted in their inability to take accountability, to step up and do the right thing. It's not in your lack of worth. And recognizing this is an important step in seeing them for who they truly are. Their failures are not a reflection of you. It's extremely important in your own healing to see them for who they are. Now, let's talk about healing from parental betrayal. It's a monumental task, and from my own personal experience, it is not easy. It's an everyday decision of honoring yourself and choosing how you want to best walk in the world. It's not easy, but it's absolutely possible, and it's essential for reclaiming your life and your sense of self to move forward, standing in your truth. I'll share with you a few things that have helped me along the way. The first thing I would say you have to acknowledge is the betrayal, right? We tend to live in denial. We make excuses and live in denial to keep a distance from our pain because it feels safer to avoid it, to push it aside, but that's not healthy. So write down specific incidences where your family sided with an abuser. This will help you recognize and clarify patterns and bring a sense of awareness to the ways you've been hurt. Now, next, separate the truth from the lies. As an adult today, look at what happened to you with a clear lens. Don't fall into the thinking trap of, I'm to blame because. You want to avoid that. Look at what was done to you and acknowledge the facts. See the truth of the situation without all of that internalized blame I spoke of earlier. You were a helpless child who was abused, and you are not to blame in any way. None of it was your fault, not then and not now. So sit with that fact. Internalize that truth. Let it replace the self-blame you've carried for so long. From there, you need to nurture yourself. Reparent your inner child by giving yourself the love, the validation, and the protection your parents failed to provide you. Remind yourself that you are safe now and ask yourself what you need in the moment, right? A lot of trauma survivors have disregarded their needs for so long, they have trouble identifying them, especially when emotions are running high and they come out of nowhere. So take a moment and imagine how a healthy, loving parent would have supported you. What would they provide that would be helpful to you? What do you need right now? And how can you honor that need? Sit with that feeling of safety and let it begin to anchor you in the present moment. Whatever your need may be, give yourself permission to meet it with care and compassion. Healing takes time, but with each step, you reclaim more and more of your intuition, power, strength, and compassion. And you do this with full confidence and love for yourself and others. Now, you want to seek support where you need to. Connect with others who understand. Coaches, support groups, or communities like mine for survivors of childhood trauma. An exercise I often recommend is writing a letter to the parent and the abuser. You don't have to mail it. Write it and read it aloud to an empty chair or to a trusted person. Or visualize packing up all the pain, shame, and chaos. Sin Sin pays for itself. So it's not about giving it back to them. They're already suffering. They must deal with their own healing. For you, visualize yourself packing it up and shipping it out to somewhere you would never ever go. Or you could even dig a hole and bury it. You could bury it in your backyard or somewhere miles from where you reside in a different state or country. That's actually a great idea. You can also mail it if you feel that it will give you more closure. I mailed my letters, but that is not for everyone. I read mine to a group of close friends first, friends that were on the same healing journey as myself, and then I mailed them. The goal here is that you get to choose, right? That's the great aspect of it is the goal is healing and you get to choose how you do it, right? So healing from parental betrayal, it's one of the most challenging journeys that you will ever embark on. It requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to yourself. And you've made it this far, so let's take a moment to celebrate you. You're here engaging with your truth, and that alone is a tremendous act of self-love and strength. Betrayal by those meant to love and protect us, it doesn't just leave scars, it rewires the way we see ourselves in the world. It teaches us to doubt our worth, suppress our needs, and fear rejection at every turn. But these lessons are not the final truth. You have the power to unlearn them. You have the power to reclaim yourself. Healing isn't about excusing or justifying what happened to you. It's about acknowledging the pain and giving it space to breathe so it can release its hold on you. It's about seeing the truth for what it is, right? It's writing the ending of your story, embracing your intuition, strength, and compassion, right? Thank you for joining me today. You are worth every ounce of the effort it takes to heal. You deserve love, respect, and acceptance. You've been denied all of that, but you deserve it, right? And it begins with giving that to yourself. If this resonates with you, please feel free to leave a comment, share your own experiences if you'd like, if you're comfortable. And until next time, take care of yourself and be gentle with yourself.